welcome back everybody to 49 Hours by ScribeOfRhapsody. Today we're on Chapter 8, Hours 12 to 14 of 49. My name's Amanda.
And I'm Chris.
And let's get started. Noctis was over halfway to insanity by the time the car finally pulled up to the Citadel. Sitting there while Gladio and the Glaive gave him no answers was absolutely maddening. It would have been nerve-wracking enough if his dad had just pulled him out of school for a day, but Gladio not telling him anything because his dad wanted to talk to him was downright horrifying. In the short trip, Noctis was pretty sure he'd imagined every horrible thing that could possibly have gone wrong. His dad could be on his deathbed, or the war had taken a really bad turn, or please, six knows, something could have happened to Luna. But Noct was pretty sure those weren't the case. No, he wasn't dumb. This had to do with Ignis. This had to do with Ignis. This had to do with Ignis, and whatever happened was bad. Looking back on the morning, Noctis realized it had been staring him right in the face since he woke. Ignis would never have completely ditched him without any word at all. He would have left some scolding notes, or text, or voice message, and he never would have left.
Noctis? You've got to be kidding me. Amanda? The hell? If you can hear me, I'm leaving this in your control.
Chris!
There we go.
What did you do?
I didn't touch anything. You randomly died.
Well, no, it wasn't me. I couldn't hear you any.
I couldn't hear you either. This is getting ridiculous and severely maddening.
I know. Anyway, we're not going to start again. We'll start. No, I don't want to start again. We'll just... When did I die out?
Last thing I heard is it started cutting around when you started saying he wouldn't have completely ditched him without any word at all, but it missed part of that sentence, and then it just completely died shortly after voice message.
Okay. Looking back on the morning, Noctis realized it had been staring him in the face since he woke up. Ignis never would have completely ditched him without any word at all. He would have left some scolding note or text or voice message, and he never would have left Noctis no way to contact him. Noctis lunged out of the car before the Glaive had even put it in park.
Not!
Gladio called after him, but Noctis ignored him, jogging into the familiar entrance without hesitation. It was only after he got inside that he realized he didn't know where his dad was at the moment. There was a flash of blue magic, and the Glaive appeared next to him, gesturing.
This way, Johannes.
Noctis blinked, but then nodded. Right, some Glaive could warp, of course. Noctis was just used to being the only one around who could use warping, since he didn't see the Glaives much. Gladio sprinted up to them, looking vaguely irritated as they all headed for the elevator. Noctis was this close to screaming just to put an end to the silence those two were giving him. He might have actually done that had the elevator doors not opened to reveal some familiar faces.
Dad.
Heartbeat kicked up even further at his father's grim expression. Gladio's dad even looked dour.
Noctis.
His father laid a hand on his shoulder as soon as he was in reach.
Come with me and I will explain. He's dead? Is he dead?
Noctis barely choked out the words, but he couldn't wait any longer.
Dad, is Ignis.
His father's expression softened.
No, son, he's not dead.
Noctis let out his held breath, shoulders slumping in relief.
But his life is very much at stake. How?
The words rushed out.
Dad, what is going on?
His father paused for a moment, obviously considering his next words, but Noctis just wanted him to spit it out already. Finally, he spoke.
Last night after he left your apartment, he was taken captive by an Imperial agent. That agent and 3 mercenaries are currently trying to get him out of the city.
Taken captive, kidnapped by the Empire. Damn, this wasn't something Noctis thought he'd ever have to worry about with Ignis. He was the prince. He'd expected the Empire to try and kidnap him, if anything, and he never had expected it to happen here. But there was only one Imperial.
Mercenaries?
Noctis repeated.
Couldn't we bribe them? I mean, if they work for money, can't we bring them over to our side?
Gladio's dad spoke up then.
We've had no direct contact with them. Only a generic idea of where they are in the city. The Glaives are in a search for them as we speak.
With that, his eyes drifted over to the Glaive still standing by the elevator.
Ulrich? Sir? You've eaten? Yes, sir. Then rejoin your fellow Glaives in the search. And yeah, I think you got out again.
Waiting. Okay, we're back. Sorry, there was a bit of lag there for a second. Noctis's father ordered.
Understood, Your Majesty.
With that, the Glaive was gone, sprinting off without hesitation. Noctis's father beckoned Noctis with a gesture. Putting so many Noctises right next to each other makes it difficult to say his name. Now I'm just imagining a bunch of Noctises standing next to each other.
Cloning operation. Hundreds of Noctises. Which one's real? No, just an army of Noctises marching towards the Imperials.
Yeah, that's what would happen from, like, they take Ignis captive, take care of themselves.
It's like, what the heck is going on? It's the prince! All of a sudden, more start coming out of the woodwork. I thought there was only one prince. Oh my god, he's gone with Plan C.
That'd be funny. Anyways.
Come, there's still much to catch you up on.
Lag. There we go. Loki's back made an extremely tempting get.
Why are you echoing again?
What was that?
You're echoing again, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know, I have my audio off.
Oh, then I don't know why you're echoing.
I don't know. Am I still echoing?
That's better.
Okay. Loki's back made an extremely tempting target, Arne realized as she glared at him. He
Got out.
So that, and that alone, was keeping the little
Amanda?
bastard alive. Yeah, I'm still here.
No, you cut out midway through the word wouldn't.
Sigh.
I apologize, we're having a bit of technical issues today.
Yes, so I'll just reread the line. Loki's back made an extremely tempting target, Arne realized as she glared at him. He wouldn't even be a challenge if she had to take him on in a fight, but she couldn't take the entirety of the glaive, especially without her armor. So that, and that alone, was keeping the little bastard alive. Loki was frowning as he looked out the window of the apartment they'd broken into.
We'll wait here. We'll wait for a while more, then we move.
Whatever. She chose not to point out that a glaive could very well see him if one happened to look at the window right then, and with their luck, the apartment owner would come back and find them or something. Well, if they were going to be there another long while, they might as well get settled in. Everyone could use a break after running around it.
Yeah, technical issues.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, you cut out around everyone could use.
Okay. Everyone could use a break after running around in circles trying to avoid the glaive for the last few hours. What I wonder is if I'm cutting out on OBS or if I'm only cutting out on Discord.
I don't know, which is a weird thing and slightly frustrating thing.
And it's extremely frustrating. The next time I cut out, check OBS and see if it's still picking me up.
Okay.
Okay. The Lucian, Ignis reminded herself, was already seated against the wall furthest from the window, his hands now band tightly together behind his back in a way that would make it extremely difficult for him to cut out of, even if he summoned his dagger. He looked frankly terrible. The Spitfire attitude was still in his eyes, but it was more subdued now, simmering, almost an intimidating sight since his face was still covered in blood.
You. Sorry, I screwed that. Ew.
Loki ordered, jabbing a finger at Wedge.
Don't keep watching the hallway.
Wedge didn't move. Looking to Aranea, she gave him a nod, and then he made for the hallway. Loki grabbed a chair from the small kitchen table and dragged it over to the window before taking a seat. Well, that was both exits covered, then just one more person was needed to watch the Lucian. It's Ignis. Oh, I see. The question mark is it was supposed to be a dash. Yeah, anytime you see an oddly placed question mark, that's supposed to be a dash. Just my formatting didn't like dashes. Biggs, Aranea gestured to the room adjacent to the one they were in, where there was a couch and a TV. Go take a nap. At least one of us needs to be conscious later.
Aye, Lady A.
He murmured sullenly, heading for the couch. Ugh, that civilian's death had taken a toll on all of them, except Loki, apparently remorseless asshole. Yeah, I can see that.
Are we sure we can't push him out the window at this point?
Please. The picture I used is a high-rise, so I'm going to assume that pushing him out the window would be fatal.
No, not even pushing him at this point. Just picking him up kind of like a battering ram and going 1, 2, 3 out the glass.
Oh, please. I know, if only. What I hate is I saw that his name was still in the tags for later fanfictions in the series, meaning he survives this.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, God, son of a bitch. Anyways, Aranea sighed, walking over to the kitchen cabinets and pulling out a bowl and a towel. She filled the bowl with water before taking it to the Lucian. He didn't even look at her as she knelt down to his level. That was until he removed her until she removed her gloves. I was about to say her glasses. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I always replacing gloves with glasses?
I don't think you should put glasses on your hands. I'm not sure it would help that much. Oh, by the way.
Unless you have an eye on your hand.
There are some monsters in mythology, so that's possible. Anyway, I'm still just picturing Aranea just doing that, and now I'm picturing Biggs and Wedge just opening the sliding doors if there are any. Just like, we'll hold the doors open. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
And all I'm seeing is just a flying, like, kind of like Spread Eagle flying Loki, like a flying squirrel.
Yeah, no. He's probably going, Shmaa!
Shmaa!
Anyway, he didn't even look at her as she knelt down to his level. That was until she removed her gloves and reached up to take his glasses. He flinched back, gaze sharp and guarded.
What are you doing?
No, it's more like, what are you... Your Ignis is softer. You always forget how soft Ignis is.
What are you doing?
She lifted the bowl and the bowl of water and towel. Cleaning you up. You want to stay like this? He didn't say anything, and she took that as a cue to continue. Reaching up again and sliding the frames from his face, he looked weirdly young without them, and her brain couldn't quite sync his actions and how he acted with the youth of his face. She always thought that living behind the wall would mean those in insomnia would grow up slower, but less mature, more spoiled. Well, maybe that was still true, but that sure wasn't the case with this guy. He was just, well, she was surprised with the fire in his eyes. The fire in his eyes didn't cancel the green out. Nope, click you. Oh my god, my mouse is dying. There we go. Of course, of all the technical problems, my mouse die on us while we're doing this as well.
Yep.
She cleaned his glasses first, gently wiping the lenses with the cloth and being particularly delicate around the crack in the glass. He watched her in total silence, and Aranea got the feeling that she wasn't the only one speculating on the person next to them. She cleared her throat as she set the glasses safely aside. Aside. I can't...
You never know, she could slide them across the floor.
That would ruin them.
I never said it was a good idea.
All right, hold still. He didn't look awkward when she brought her hand to his face, but his rigid posture was rather telling in itself. She made sure the hand on his jaw was gentle, but dried blood was never easy to get off anything, and she had to scrub fairly hard at the skin with the cloth. "So you got a girlfriend?" she asked cheerfully. Her words had the desired effect. He looked entirely confused.
I beg your pardon.
You are more stiff than a boulder, and since I have no plans to snap your neck and there's no reason for you to be this guarded, I'm trying to get your mind focused on something else. Geez, this stuff clung like no other liquid, he scoffed.
I just saw an innocent man murdered, and have his blood on me. I'm afraid you're going to have to do more than that to keep me distracted. I can think of a few things she could probably do, but I'm not sure how Loki would react.
God, yeah, she could keep him distracted by throwing Loki out the window.
That wasn't where my brain was going, but that works too.
Oh, you dirty boy.
Sorry, that's where my brain goes.
Oh, so is she pretty? His sigh rushed through pressed teeth.
I do not have a girlfriend.
Boyfriend?
What?
Oh, now he looked fully bewildered. Good.
No, I'm straight and single if you must know.
Really? With this face? She resisted laughing at his expression. Arenea's hitting on Ignis. His mouth hung open for a moment before he managed to find something to say.
My duties in the crown have... I feel like that's supposed to say crown guard.
No,
oh, it says duties to the crown. Oh, not in the crown. My duties to the crown have granted me little personal time.
Oh, come on. There's gotta be something you do besides work. Finally, she'd managed to clear up that area of his face. Some kind of fun?
Of course, never mind.
Well, don't stop there. He sighed again.
I rather enjoy pursuing art of the culinary nature. He's a cook?
Yes, she raised an eyebrow. You cook for fun. To put it simple.
That's my line!
The color coding doesn't help!
To put it simply, yes.
She snorted. Okay, clearly the girls in this city are morons. They ought to be flocking to your door. He almost managed to cover his chuckle. Almost. I heard that, she grinned.
She's bloody flirting with him.
I know, it's adorable.
You heard nothing.
Uh-huh, sure. And she's got 8 years on him, so she's flirting with a minor. She's attracted to jailbait.
To be fair, he's over 18.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure who knows what the age of consent in insomnia is.
It's 42.
Yes. So both of them are minors.
No, it's 49. Minor 49er.
Bad puns.
All the bad puns.
Almost done now. So, that kitchen's got some good stuff in it. Don't suppose you'd be up to fixing lunch? He scoffed again.
I'm afraid that would be a rather difficult feat with no hands.
She rolled her eyes. Obviously, I'd untie you while you're working. He frowned, apparently picking up on the fact that she was serious.
I just tried to escape and you want to untie me?
She raised her eyebrow again. You gonna try and fight your way past all 4 of us?
I think if she unties him, he's going to go straight for Loki and slit his throat and deal with the aftermath.
Oh, I know. That'd be nice. Aranea wouldn't even fight him on it.
Yep.
He gave her a flat look.
I'm confident in my abilities, Miss Highwind, but I'm not idiotically overconfident.
She shrugged. Then we have no problem, and it's Aranea.
Aranea.
He corrected with a slight inclination of the head. He shifted his gaze to Loki's form across the room.
I very much doubt he'll be pleased. I don't think Aranea gives a damn.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
At this point, she probably just wants to taste his cooking.
Probably. It'll be the straw that broke the camel's back on their relationship in terms of they'll be adorable together.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I know spoilers, so I'm like, you don't know things yet, and I'm trying so hard not to spoil you.
I was about to say something incredibly inappropriate, but I changed my mind.
Well, let's just say there's a waterfall scene later on.
Okay, that wasn't where my mind was going, but okay.
Hey, take it how you will. Anything can happen under a waterfall.
Anything but dryness.
Yes.
The fact is, they're going to get wet.
Oh, God. In more ways than one. We're horrible.
Yes, we are.
Thing is, I'm pretty sure this is a PG-rated fan fiction, with the exception of the, more mature topics, so...
Like torture and suicide?
Yeah, so it doesn't actually go that far. Anyways...
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not reading smut, we're just taking it as smut.
We'll imagine the smut ourselves. Anyways, well, if you're a good cook, he'll get over it, won't he? With that, she set the cloth aside, grabbing his glasses, returning them to their usual position on his face. Ignis was right. Loki was anything but pleased, but he begrudgingly allowed Ignis to be untied so long as Aranea watched him like a hawk. That wasn't a problem for Aranea, as watching the guy cook was actually a surprisingly interesting pastime. Even without knowing where anything was in the kitchen, he had a weird sort of confidence. Grace, as he secured all the ingredients he needed and began using them. This was therapy, Aranea realized, a normal stress reliever for him. He was so absolutely absorbed in his task that he was actually completely and totally relaxed. He didn't at all seem like he was captive. An irritated scowl currently pulled at his brow.
This must be the most poorly stocked spice cupboard in Lucius. Pass me the spoon, please.
Aranea smiled.
I'm just picturing such a lack of spice that it's actually annoying me a bit.
Yeah, it's probably just like salt and pepper.
Maybe just salt and pepper. I don't know, but the lack of spice is for some odd reason annoying me. Simply because the amount of...
That's because you like cooking, even though you're horrible at cooking.
I'm not horrible at it, I'm just not good with some types of pots.
Yeah, you destroyed a pot, so...
To be fair, I've never done that with any of the pots in my house.
Yeah, well, then that's even worse. You destroyed someone else's pot.
Different pots have different heating temperatures, at which point they get destroyed. We just have higher quality pots in my house than he had. Which is actually...
I feel bad for his pot.
Which is actually the whole point, because if we don't, my dad destroys them. And he's a professional cook.
Oh no. Aranea smiled, amused at this change from earlier. She picked up the large spoon near her and passed don't put near and her next to each other. I can't English.
I thought you were trying to say near there.
No. She picked up the large spoon near her and passed it to him.
Thank you.
Sure thing. Well, she hadn't tasted it yet, but it smelled amazing. Despite the lack of spices he wanted, even Loki was sending glances of interest now. Don't feed Loki, just make him eat dirt.
You know, there's probably a garbage can somewhere in the apartment that would probably appetize him quite well.
Yes.
The little
he
rat.
He can eat what he is.
The little rat that he is.
Yes.
I'm just picturing everyone sitting there eating like a 5-star meal cooked by Ignis. Meanwhile, Loki's just sitting there gnawing on a plastic container.
That'd be very funny. There was a yawn from the other room as Biggs walked in, rubbing his eyes. He stopped. He blinked.
The hell is this? All this? Lunch?
Remember, Ignis is softer.
Sorry. Lunch?
Lunch.
Lunch.
There you go. Ignis said simply.
Do wash your hands before it's ready.
Aranea snickered. Loki sent Ignis a look of disbelief. Biggs just blinked a few more times.
Sure thing.
End.
Oh, we're not gonna get to see them eat lunch. Aw.
We get to see them eat lunch next chapter.
Okay.
So what was your opinion on this easy chapter? Is like nothing dramatic happened chapter, it was just nice and light.
I find it quite funny that Noct is worried out of his skull right now and Ignis is making food.
Yeah, and that is a little funny. Like everyone's going like, where's Ignis?
And
Dum.
Where's Ignis? Where's Ignis? He's currently in a random apartment in the city cooking food for his captors. What?
Noct would be like, yeah, that's it.
Gladius would probably just stand there and shaking his head, and Pronto would go, but I want some!
Yup. But anyway, that was Chapter 8 of 49 Hours by ScribeOfRhapsody. We'll see you all in the next chapter.
Hope you enjoyed.